Hello, welcome to another episode of Islam this time. Now again, I'm dealing with Islam. I'm no Islamic scholar. This is just my understanding. Hopefully I get it right, and it's not going to cover everything, and I'm sure not everyone is going to agree with everything I say, but let's see what we can do. Today though, we're going to focus in on the 5 pillars of Islam. The 5 pillars, otherwise known as Arkan al-Islam. The faith of the Muslim is a comprehensive way of life, more than a wide-ranging set of beliefs. One simply has to submit their will to Allah, or God as we might call them. Although, I do want to make the point, from what I can read, Allah is the better form, okay, as opposed to God, which is a little bit more generic. Now the law is called the Sharia law. Following this law leads to paradise. But at the heart of Sharia are the 5 pillars of Islam. So let's get into them. The first one, the declaration of faith, the Shahada. Hope I've said that right. And at least once in a life, a Muslim must confess there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the prophet of Allah. The first part reaffirms Islam as a monotheistic religion. That means there is only one God, and denies Christianity's claims that Jesus was God. The second part affirms Muhammad and his status. Who is he? The prophet of Allah, that last and greatest prophet. So that's number 1. About number 2, well, that's daily prayer, the Salat. Often the Muslim is known as somebody who comes and prays every day. Here's some images of Muslims praying, not just once a day though, but 5 times a day. And I don't know about you, I actually tried to go through the ritual of the prayer once, and wow, it's a physical workout. There's a lot going on in this prayer, in the words that are said, but also the physicality. I think the Muslims got something here that often gets missed by other religions in terms of the involvement. So they're required to pray 5 times a day. This was reminding them that they're dependent on Allah for all things at all times. They're fixed, made roughly at dawn, midday, mid-afternoon, sunset, and evening. And during the prayer, the believer will lie prostrate several times, facing the direction of Mecca. If you're unsure a bit about Mecca, go and look at the life of Muhammad, because that's where he was born. But it conveys that humility before the Creator. So there you go, that's the prayers. What's number 3? Here we go. Tax for the poor, the zakat. Now this is an interesting one. It's an act of kindness, of worship towards God, and kindness towards fellow Muslims. But it's the calculation, an annual tax of roughly 2.5% of a person's total wealth. That's significant, isn't it? It almost seems to put a check and balance in. To keep that wealth back, you can't just keep going on accumulating without paying a good tax and caring for the poor. And so it's the relief for poor and orphans, reward for volunteers who go into jihad or war, and helps in the spread of Islam throughout the world. Like any religion at one level, how do they keep going? How do they have teachers and all that sort of thing? Well, this needs to go to pay for them. The 4th one, the fast of Ramadan. Sawm, as it's called. Now, this is a month-long fast during Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. And it was during the month of Ramadan that Muhammad first heard God's call to be that prophet out in the wilderness there. And Ramadan celebrates the marvel of God's revelation, should I say, in the Quran. Muslims abstain from food, drink, and sexual activity during daylight hours. And in talking to my friends that have been Muslims, they tell me that this time is so valuable for them as a Muslim. And it really makes a difference for them. Just how they feel and what's going on in their lives. It helps them to really focus on God. Now the next one, number 5, the last main one that we're going to look at, is the pilgrimage to Mecca, or the Hajj. Now, if you look at the top right-hand corner here, you do see this Kaaba that we've talked about. Here it is again, the Kaaba, this box or big cube thing. And Muslims, when they go to Mecca, walk around the Kaaba. The Kaaba, of course, was in Mecca before Muhammad took over. It's actually believed to have come from Abraham and his son Ishmael, the one born to Hagar, the maidservant, and that they first made it. Anyway, every Muslim who is physically and financially able must make a pilgrimage at least once in a life to the birthplace of Muhammad, to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Now, there's several rituals, and this is of course important in understanding the ritual and ceremony of the Muslim. Dressed in white sheets, pilgrims make their way to the Kaaba, that's this thing here, and walk around it 7 times in a symbolic way of the way the Muslim's life revolves around Allah. They must then stand on the plain of Arafat, and from midday until sunset, pilgrims call out to Allah for mercy. Many believe that this washes away previous sins. Believers also throw pebbles at large stone pillars. That's these things here. I'll show you a bigger picture in a moment. This is known as stoning the devil, and is a way for believers to show their hatred of evil. Where is it? There's the picture of these stone pillars that I have. Now, I don't know about you, I look at this and think, oh, that looks a bit dangerous. What if somebody's throwing a rock on the other side and hits me? But obviously, this is what they do to show their hatred of evil and all that it means. The pilgrimage concludes with that feast of sacrifice. Goats and sheep are sacrificed en masse in remembrance of Abraham's sacrifice. What was that? It's where Abraham was that different guy. Unlike the people around him who were sacrificing children, he had a lamb provided for him so that he didn't have to sacrifice Isaac, his son. Here's another picture of Mecca and all the pilgrims there. Wow, look at them all. Thousands, millions of people, I think, each year go to this pilgrimage. Pretty massive. Now, this 6th one is a questionable one. It could be that this is what every Muslim does anyway, and the other 5 sort of fit under it. But it's actions that further the cause of Allah. It's called the Greater Jihad. It could be learning the Quran and study, overcoming faults like greed, anger, hatred, all good things, giving up vices such as smoking, participating in Muslim activities, and working for social justice at the mosque. Forgiving others who've done wrong. These are all good things, aren't they? Or the Lesser Jihad, confronting evil and wrongdoing. This is the context for holy war. Harb equals war, qital, fighting. Now, Surah 860 says, against them make ready your strength, to the utmost of your power, including steeds of war, to strike terror into the hearts of the enemies, or ears of the enemies of Allah. And truly Allah loves those who fight in his cause in battle array. Surah 61 verse 4. Now, there is lots of difficulties in understanding what it means in jihad. Does it mean physical war, or does it mean that holy spiritual war? And different Muslims interpret it in very different ways, and I wouldn't want to presume either way that I know. What I can say is the Muslim strives, definitely, to live their life for Allah. So there you go. That is Islam. That is what we've been looking at just now. I hope this has been helpful for you in understanding the 5 pillars. Make sure you remember them, the 5 in particular, and know what they are and what they mean. Oh, well, thanks for listening. Have a good one.